So friends, let me quickly show you an example of a popular web service or web API. So I have taken Google's translation API as an example here. So this API is being developed by Google, and what it can do is it can dynamically translate text between thousands of language pairs. So you just need to pass the source language, the targeted language, and the text that you actually wanted to get translated. So let's see some details about this translation API. So this is a documentation page detailing about how you can use this API, how you can invoke or embed this API in your own application or software. I think this is not a free service. You need to pay Google to use it. So this API allows websites and programs to programmatically integrate with the service. And this is a good example to understand what is a web service, how it looks like, etc. So you can use this web service if text in your application need to be translated to any language of your choice. You can programmatically embed this API in your application. So your application will be the one hitting or invoking this API, passing all necessary information in the request, like the text that you wanted to translate, the source language code, the targeted language code, etc. So let's give some example that is given in this documentation. So if you go here, you can see some more details like how it looks like, etc. See, like I have mentioned earlier, web service or web APIs are actually works with the HTTP protocol. So you can see this is a API which works with the HTTP protocol. So once you hit on this API giving correct request and passing a JSON body, see, this is what I was mentioning in the tutorial earlier, that web APIs can communicate or interact each other with the JSON. They cannot actually understand HTML or anything. So to pass some information to API or to talk to the API, you need to pass some details with the JSON. So the programmer can actually hit on this API using a post method, passing this JSON body where you will pass the text that you wanted to translate, then the source of language, the targeted language, etc. So basically in the response, this translation API will return the translated text, which your application can understand and probably display in its UI. So if you see, yeah, so this is an example of a response content, how it looks like, etc. So like I have explained earlier, you can observe the communication between this API and your application will be happening with the JSON. So this is a JSON format, right? Yeah, so this is how the response comes back to your program, and then your program can decide what you wanted to do with this response, whether you just wanted to display it in the UI or you wanted to save it in the database. So that's freedom is with you. So this is just an example to show you how the web service or web API looks like. So I hope you got some information about how it looks, what details you need to pass, etc. Right? So friends, the basic point is that as an application programmer, you are not building any translation functionality from scratch here. So instead of that, you are using the existing service provided by Google. Such services may be either a paid one or a free one. So that's basically the concept behind the web services. You don't have to build it if there is a service already available there. There are other examples like Google Maps, Facebook APIs, Twitter APIs. So if you have to embed any of these services into your application, you can just pay them, or if it is free, you can just take them and use it in your application.